Yellow chat, is that you?
Yellow.
Oh, whoa.
Hello.
Chat. Let me change this music because it's way too epic for this moment.
This is an epic moment. We've just started the session. This is the most epic of moments.
I guess.
No, I
Yes.
figured we'd start on time.
Us start on
Damn.
time.
Damn, shade has been thrown.
Hey, you know
I'm
what?
just saying, some of us were here on time.
I was here.
I got
on
out of
time.
work late.
We were like 40 minutes early.
Anyways.
Welcome in, chat, as we enter into episode 28, The Den of Wolves. Last time, the party was able to meet with Esmeralda and able to have a few interactions and meetings with some other characters once more, being that of one of the brides of Strahd von Zedovich that they had met prior. We had told them that they had been given a small extension till their meeting with Strahd. However, had been asked to bring with them a bottle of wine.
Yes.
They also were able to meet with one woman, Bianca, who they had met Esmeralda's carriage, and been told a little bit of her life before separating once more and heading towards the mountain, the Baratok. And now you all sit around a campfire of sorts, just a good ways below the mountain, as to not be seen by any would-be wolves. Now Esmeralda suggested to help pass the time, everybody going around and telling a bit of a story about themselves. She also offers to share her own history in turn. After all, if we were to work together, I'd like to know who I'm fighting beside. So I'll leave it up to you if you wish the story to be how I came to know Dr. Rudolf von Richten or how I lost this leg. She gestures towards her mechanical leg.
I am definitely very interested in hearing about your how you got to know the legendary figure.
Very well, I can start if you like. If no one else is too eager to begin telling a tale.
I would much like to hear your tale first.
Indeed.
It might
Very
give
well.
some others some time to think about what they wish to say.
Indeed. Well, it was nearly 2 decades ago that I first saw. My family was traveling with the Radovinch clan, the Stani caravan. When Radovinch child fell deathly ill. Child's parents took him to a local doctor, and by the name of Rudolf von Richten. Brennan Richten did all he could to keep the boy alive. 3 days later, however, he passed away. His father, a leader among the Vistani people there, blamed von Richten for his child's death. That night, aided by 4 others, he stole into von Richten's family home and kidnapped his only son, vengeance. My parents awoke me at midnight. We departed at once. It was only later that I learned what cargo we were carrying, and my own parents had helped acquire him. She kind of looks somberly at the fire. Von Richten himself, desperate to rescue him, tracked our caravan down, bound my parents to a tree. After extracting his son's location, however, he departed without shedding a drop of their blood. Of mercy, forgotten. And well, 10 years later, I ran from home, seeking to follow Von Richten's footsteps. Found him a man changed. He seemed scarred and haunted by years that had passed. His kindness, however, had never faded. He agreed to take me on as a student. Spent 2 years with him learning all that I could about monsters and how to fight them. before we ultimately place.
And
Interesting.
now here you are.
Good
Indeed.
student indeed.
The night I departed his company, we exchanged harsh words. Words I prefer to forget. Even so, when I received his final letter, I came at once to Borovia, saying that he would not face Zarevich alone.
Well, I'm sure if you two were to contact sometime soon, you might be able to rekindle the friendship or like apprenticeship that you used to have.
Indeed.
I can only hope, though. Even though he trained me, I still feel that he still holds some form of grudge for what happened to his son.
I think for him to offer to train you, though, it must say that surely he can't hold that much of a grudge, right? Anyways, if I may ask a
Yes.
further question, you had mentioned that he trained you in hunting of monsters and the like.
Yes.
I'm curious. Do you have a preferred foe?
Well, I feel like my leg is a bit evident. At this point, werewolves. However, I have killed a vampire in my time.
Ooh, impressive. That is.
I'm
certainly
sure. Well, I apologize.
Oh no, by all means, go.
I'm sure that you would have a field day back at where we're from. The forests are practically riddled with monsters.
Oh, where are you from, Miss Willow?
As Cere as well, are from a place kind of far from here. I mean, we're all from this place, but specifically the city? We're from Brindleville. But specifically, I'm from a place called Hex Point, where a lot of people like me reside. And we face the threats of things that would very much like to rid of us.
Speak for yourself, city gal. Not all of us live in cities.
I'm.
But yes.
It's not a city. That was me trying to figure out what the place was called.
X Point
I
is
gotcha.
not even a town.
No, not even town. I thought it was like
Oh,
a decent sized town.
Oh,
Never mind, ignore me.
X
I
Point
thought it
is
was a.
like a small gathering of like
I
14 families at most.
well,
Anyone
okay,
lives in the
more
sticks?
so on Brindle. Well, I live in the sticks, but more Brindlevale side rather than Hex Point. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't remember what it was.
Brunaville's a
Sorry, what kind of
nation.
Sorry, we'll kind of like do that little jibe and then kind of like remembering you said Hex Point, she then kind of goes, "Oh wait, no, Hex Point isn't really that much of a city." Sorry, I thought you were from one of the bigger settlements.
No.
But yes, no, Brindlevale is a scary place, much like here actually. I almost have a strange sense of home. But thankfully, there are people like my people who try to make it a better place.
See? Well, once this werewolf business is done with, I would very much like to visit this. Someday at least. See for myself.
Well, you're certainly welcome. Hells, with skills like you've described, I'm sure my people would welcome you with open arms.
But enough about me. Of yourselves. Sorry if I may.
Would like to go first.
If everyone is stuck, I can try and wing something.
Oh, don't worry, darlings. If someone needs to go first, I'm more than happy to. After all, last time everyone was at a camp sharing a story, I believe I happened to luck out with not having to tell something.
You say luck out. I think you didn't tell us on purpose.
Oh no, I just had nothing to wager and barter, so
That's fair.
no skin in that game, as it were, at the time. But I suppose the question should be asked. Is there any particular story you all wish to hear from me? Any piece of my story you wish to know about? Perhaps my daughter who I lost, or my husband who I am no longer with.
I will say, I was curious about how you met your husband, who he was.
I was curious about your daughter and such.
If you don't mind sharing, of course.
Not at all. After all, as the dear hunter has told us, the best way to know the people you're with is to learn their stories. It gives you a sense of connection of being with them.
Indeed.
So, my dear, wonderful Billiam. He was a stout man. We met in a small village. And yes, I do mean small. Most people knew each other there, and it wasn't much more than just a stopover spot. Smaller than even the dear, delightful Barovia is here. A place where you mostly see farmers and people living out their lives, basically, giving their harvest to sale in larger markets and helping support the larger cities for it. It's part of the reason why I find myself so skillful with a bow. When you have to hunt for your food, well, you do pick up some skills. My husband, though, was a wonderful farmer. He had a beautiful square jaw, long blonde hair, brilliantly blue eyes, like a placid lake that you could just sink yourself into. And he had a wonderful green thumb. His harvests were always tended to be the very best in the village. Sometimes I wonder if he ever made a deal with some folk to encourage that growth, but no, I think he just genuinely was that nice and kind of a person that nature responded in kind to him. We had met together at a harvest festival, one that generally brings, well, males and females together to celebrate a bountiful year, and he has been competing in a test of strength for the village to see who would become King of Spring for the year, as it were, for our village. The one who, gets to be the cock of the walk, the town champion, as it were. It was always fun watching those. Watching contest of axe throwing and wrestling, all while you get to go around town setting up poles decorated with painted eggs and garlands and flowers. Days of youth gone by. Always enjoyable and pleasurable things. But it was there that he first expressed his interest in me, approaching me after he had won the contest with a honey cake and just offering for me to become his queen for the year. And of course, I did notice the glances back and forth. We had been teasing each other at a distance with looks and gazes. And finally he figured a way to corner me and make me either put up or shut up, as it were, at the festival. And of course I accepted. I appreciated him taking his time with the hunt, as any good hunter would. And one thing led to another, and when you're in a small village, when someone proposes to you like that, it normally leads to a lovely ceremony a few months later. But we let it rest for about a year before we actually got married at the next festival. He's a good man. I look forward to seeing him again someday if possible. But don't know if he'll want to see me. It has been a long time. And I hope he's found better happiness than what I could have provided him. At least at this age. But as to why we got parted and things happened, well, that is another story for another day. And that's the end of Vivienne's
Interesting.
story.
Rather not.
Intriguing.
So, we'd like to go next. He looks over at Kiso, Samael, Cere, or Willow.
I can tell you how I ended up wanting becoming a knight.
That sounds interesting.
It does.
So, unlike how most of my fellow knights came into wanting to, bring back money to the poor families that they grew up around and all that, I didn't really grow up poor. I grew up like, middle of the road. But as my friends here can attest, I'm not a big fan of bullies, and I don't care much for people who take advantage for others. So, I had an incident where one of my friends was he was getting extorted for cash, and I couldn't really stand by and see that. And I went to ask a knight to help out. As a little kid, they're people who are they're larger than life to kids. They seem like they could do no wrong, and if they had to move the heaven and earth, they could. But this man didn't. He didn't help whatsoever. And my friend, for 3 years afterwards, continued to get extorted to the point where he could not live in our area anymore, and he had to leave. And that's when I made it my point to become a knight. And when I did, the first thing that I did was, in a way, throw this guy not under the bus because he's already a bad guy, but I kind of made his life kind of a hell. This was before I took my oath too, so I can't do this anymore. But yeah, I kind of wasn't really a good person. But yeah, I'm like, I'm different now.
I'm
Different
frankly
now.
shocked.
New leaf.
Yeah, completely. And now I travel with these fine friends, and should it be that I must lay down my life for them to keep going, I will. By the way, Samaya will turn to I literally just saw her name and I already forgot it.
Esmeralda?
Yeah, Esmeralda. By the way, Esmeralda, you should definitely come to Casia. It's very much cleaned up since my growing youth.
Oh,
Yeah, it's very much cleaned up. There are a lot of much nicer knights who will actually do wonders. Especially my master. I would hope that eventually, maybe one day, you'll get to meet him.
I see, I see. Maybe one day.
Well,
All right.
you've turned into a noble knight, haven't you?
I try to be. I was a bit of a I wouldn't say spoiled kid, but I wasn't all that.
For one, I'm certainly shocked. I didn't really expect that, to be honest with you. I assumed you were always a noble soul.
Oh no, I wish. I mean, if I was, I'm sure my mentor wouldn't have given me hell the first few times that he trained me.
I suppose looks can be deceiving.
Bruno will
Yeah.
look over to Samael with a bit of a smug look on her face.
Yes. Something on the tip of your tongue?
Oh, no, just, so honorable and running off into the forest at night.
You know, I
to
wasn't going to make that joke.
That was a
play
promise that
what?
was somewhat permanent.
Oh, so binding this promise was to go play what? Patty
Look,
cake in the woods with a witch?
You know,
Look,
he'd mentioned that he was going to lay down his life for us, but he certainly laid something else down. That's for sure.
look, I never said that I was of heavenly descent. I do what I can.
He's no saint.
Oh no, trust me. I could tell.
Now I just spend my days being a little bother to y'all. And don't you all love it?
You certainly succeed.
Ah.
Certainly something.
Somehow will tap Cere on the back. Like not heavy, but like when you fucking joyfully pat somebody on the back. Ah,
They give him a nudge.
shucks. Thanks.
She
Really
shoots you
are.
like the most like fake extreme smile possible. The slight tilt of the head. A malicious smile. But no, certainly an interesting one. I had always just assumed you were a nice noble sort, but hey, looks can be deceiving, I guess.
Yeah. I haven't really told anybody that.
Well, I'm glad you felt comfortable sharing it.
It's always a first for something.
Indeed.
Yep. Now, who's next? I want to hear more from y'all.
Well, if no one else will, I could if needed.
I am curious as to what you will tell us about.
That's the
Well,
bird wishes, of course.
yes, of course.
Perhaps in a bit. I do have many stories to tell, but I'm reluctant
has to
to
think
let them
of
out
one.
of my mouth.
Indeed.
Perhaps I don't want to put it too much a damper on the mood.
Oh, don't worry, I'll succeed at that.
Then go right ahead.
Well, I believe at the start, Esmeralda had mentioned about wanting to get to know us and know what she'll be fighting alongside. And so I thought it would be prudent to share a story of my past. You see, my people similarly come from Brindleville as well, but we are more travelers. As much as I don't want to assume from experience, the Vistani that we've seen so far are quite similar in that regard, at least. Constantly on the move and always traveling. We similarly try to be a light within the darkness as we travel. My people, though, are more, for lack of a better term, zealots. we follow a god known as the Grim Harvester. For all intents and purposes, a god of death and a god of, moving on to the next chapter, so to speak. My people have sworn our lives to ensure that spirits are laid to rest. Mostly spirits, although undead also fall under that umbrella. Our objective has always been to ensure that the Grim Harvester's will is followed. The story I would like to share is about as I was reaching maturity. As teen reapers, my people have to undergo several trials. These trials are sometimes may vary, but at least with mine, we had 4 different trials. That being a test of resolve, so to speak, a test of faith, one of knowledge, and one of heart. For the test of resolve, we would have to cross a rather eerie and dark lake. Actually, I don't think it's too far away from Hex Point, actually. But it is a lake filled of souls and of creatures that have not been laid to rest. Spectral, ghost-like figures that are incredibly dangerous. As a youth, I had to traverse the river on a little boat, and I had been primed with the knowledge that if I showed fear, it would simply agitate the souls and perhaps lead to my untimely demise. I had to traverse that lake, and frankly, it was one of the most terrifying experiences of my life, but I was able to keep a cool head and survive. Other tasks that we had to undo involved a test of knowledge, where we would be presented with different specters, different types of undead that we would find, and my people would ask for me to determine how we would put them to rest, how we would defeat them. I thankfully studied very hard for that and was able to give the correct advice. I worry if I had given the wrong advice, what would have happened? I shudder to think. I also had to pledge allegiance and pledge an oath of sorts to that of the Reaper's Creed and to the Grim Harvester. The Grim Harvester is believed to be the first Reaper, in actual fact. And in doing that, I swore that I would bring any undead that I see to rest, especially of the spectral variety. And finally, a test of heart, as I call it. She takes out her memento and kind of shows it, and she goes, "This here is a memento. Within it is trapped a powerful, powerful creature, a powerful spectral entity from some unknown void. Sometimes we refer to them as void avatars. They are trapped within a cage, a lantern of sorts, within our camp. And as a final test of, I suppose, being able to say that you've grown, is you must place your hand within the lantern with the memento and attempt to capture and, I guess, control one of these void avatars. It's a scary process. If you fail, you're most likely going to be possessed or torn asunder by these creatures. But if you succeed, you're able to bind it to this. In doing so, I have learned to fight alongside this spectral entity that I know as Nex. It is a very interesting style. As a general rule, if we are to fight alongside each other, if you stay near me, I can ensure that I can protect you. And similarly, I have access to forbidden magics of a rather old style. And that is my tale to tell. If there's any questions, of course, feel free.
Yeah, I see.
My apologies, I never really was good at the whole telling fun, tall tales.
No, but you've told us an interesting thing about you, and that alone is a wonderful thing to hear and know about.
Indeed.
I, for one,
That-
find it gives us a better insight as to what your life has been like, and well, what life might hold for you going forward.
Indeed, I grew up amongst zealots, and really I never lost that little spark. And really it has certainly shaped me in ways that I don't think most people get to see.
Or even understand sometimes, I suppose.
Indeed, it helps put a lot of things into perspective.
Thank you
Oh.
for sharing. I know that must not have been the easiest thing in the world to do.
It comes with the territory. I'm getting more used to being more open about it, but yeah, normally us Reapers would keep that a secret. Close guarded one.
So that leaves two left. Says looking between Willow and Kiso.
Indeed, come on, Kiso. Surely you've got something interesting to tell us. Your last story was very interesting.
It certainly was. But quite frankly, over the many years that I've roamed since that day, it's not much sticks with my brain. It isn't really a factor of old age, as it is something else. I really can't describe it. There are a couple other things that linger in my memory, but not much. Also, out of character, give me like a bit more to think about something I want to say. I actually did have something planned out, but I would like want to write it out. So like, give me a bit.
Well, I'll go then. It's okay.
You got this, Willow.
Well, since Kiso is attempting to recall something from his past, I'm sure he's lived many years compared to a lot of us. No shit against Kiso.
The old man.
But I am aware that not everyone here not only doesn't know a lot about myself, but also know about what about witches, as that is what I am, and that is the people I have learned from and grew up with, and we have particular ways of doing things. And I'll be telling you about my 13th birthday. The 13th birthday is very important, as this is when we witches obtain our abilities of sorts. To some people, that just is another day, just any other birthday. But whatever forces beyond provide us with our abilities seems to have chosen that day in particular. And when a witch turns 13, not only do they get their abilities, but they also are counteracted in a way and are given a curse. I have been very reluctant to share a lot about the things that have occurred in my life or to me, or just simply because a lot of others have, seemingly been through worse, or it just, to me, doesn't seem very relevant. However, beyond that, my grandmother, she did everything in her power to prepare me for this day. Made sure I knew all the practices, all the rituals, anything that she could ever possibly teach me. She is my mentor. She is my teacher. I felt prepared. I thought I knew what to anticipate. However, things didn't pan out that way. Sort of. For one thing, before I turned 13, I can't even recall how the time frame, but my mother disappeared. I, to this day, have no clue where she was. She's gone. And during the ceremony for my 13th birthday, I was given the curse of, the simplest term, possession. As there is this looming presence that resides within, around me, that my family once assumed they had either banished, gotten rid of, or laid to rest, and it only seems to have returned to latch onto me. And I am learning more things about it since we've gotten here. Who he is, partially what he wants, but not fully. And I don't know what to do about it. Jazz hands. That's my story.
Interesting. It seems every day I feel like we have more and more in common.
Maybe.
At this
Although
moment,
yours does sound a bit more worrying.
at this moment, Willow, only you can see this. As far as you can look around, you can tell nobody else seems to see this. Only you do. You see, sitting along the campfire with you all, legs crossed as he looks across the fire towards you, you see the groomsman. Just watching.
I would like to think that, like, as she was telling this, nothing that she's doing whatsoever. It's just weird, dramatic effect, ambiance shit of, like, the trees seemingly, like, looming over the group in a way, and, like, the shadow from the campfire kind of, like, projecting the groomsmen, if that makes sense.
Ooh, that's cool.
His top hat, ever present, glowing eye, seem to just be the bit of shadow not cast.
And to you all, Willow is just staring at the distance into the woods.
I will like
Thousand.
gently try and like put a hand on her back to be like, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, good. thanks for sharing.
Yes, it has been interesting to learn about your paths. All of you all so far.
Indeed.
I don't know what background noise is coming from who.
I think it's from Sam.
Yeah, it's probably my dog. They put
shuffling.
him in. They put him in here.
Surprise dog attack.
Hold on.
Go get him.
Basically.
The
I
party.
must admit, I am.
Oh, good.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I was just gonna say. I must admit, I am really curious to hear Kiso's tale.
Well, you must know, Kenku are naturally gifted with quite a fantastic memory, and at times it does serve me quite well for esoteric information and magical runes and whatnot, but as far as it pertains to my past, it is quite spotty, so what I will tell you is merely the fragments of something I recall from long ago. I won't recount the extensive details and rather gruesome aspects of the day that sort of changed my life and the village that I come from, but before that, I lived a very peaceful life. In fact, it was too peaceful. The key word for my village, which could not have been more than 50 people, was quite isolationist, and not by any sort of actual necessity, perhaps just by an unspoken rule implemented by the family. When I was a young boy, we'd always told that we would just grow up to be farmers and bakers like everyone else had for however long somebody would want to make up. Hundreds of years, thousands of years. We really didn't even really remember when this all started, but we were always told that life was comfortable where we were and there was never any real reason to leave the village in which we were born. And we believed it. I can't really quite explain how. We never really thought the outside was dangerous. I suppose things were just so nice where we were that there was no real reason to ever leave. We, sold our wares to many, wandering villagers that came to the village, but for ourselves, we never really left. And in that way, that almost was a sort of curse. The Mosinisa family was kind of always cursed to just be farmers and bakers, and as our fathers and forefathers and forefathers had been. And my father had always wished the same for me, and he was a good man, so I obeyed him. And perhaps my perspective began to change when I had my own children. I had 3. 2 sons, elder and the middle child, and a few years later I had a youngest daughter. The day the rot came to town, I saw my 2 sons' faces amongst the masses. I saw almost everyone I'd known growing up. The one person I didn't see was my daughter. And I'd always hoped that she'd escaped somehow, but she was quite young, no older than 7. It's quite difficult for such a young girl to survive on her own. But it was perhaps a strange coincidence that I'd never seen her face after that event. So I still hold out hope, for perhaps a reason that's more than just hope. Sometimes I still hear her voice or see her face. If you ever see me lagging behind the party, looking over my shoulder, perhaps it's because I see something, or I hear something. I can't tell you if it's real, or if it's in my head. But in the many years I would travel lonely, empty roads for days at a time, just out of the corner of my eye, I could have swore I saw her face vanish behind a tree, or sometimes amidst a crowd in a dreary village. It happens, and it still happens to this very day. It happens several times a week, I might even say. So, I don't know if she's still out there. In fact, it's quite strange to think that a girl you saw last at 7 years old would now almost be 60, old enough to have had children and grandchildren. I don't know if she's still out there. But when I hear her voice and see her face, I hope she still is. And that's what's on my mind.
Wow.
Yeah. Fucking hells. Don't know what I expected, but it wasn't that.
Well, that is a positive way to look at it, Kiso. If you didn't see her body, she could, yes, still be out there.
I hope so. Perhaps what concerns me most is I'd have passed on that, not necessarily a fear, but latent contentness that was, never leaving our hometown, never going exploring. I'd passed on what my father had taught me to my two sons. And it wasn't until my younger daughter came along, when I'd become dreary of my life in my small town, that I'd begin to change my outlook. And perhaps my sons would have been, children are malleable and are largely a result and product of their parenting. Perhaps I would have coached my younger sons to be as placid as I was, and my father was, and my grandfather was. But I hope my daughter was different. Again, a girl so young, very difficult to make it in a world so rough, but I hold out hope. If there's one way any sort of curse would be let off me, it would be to see my youngest daughter free.
Understandable.
Yeah, understandable.
I suppose you can't really call that a story. More just a
Oh,
facet
this is
of myself.
absolutely a story, dear.
It's
And one
something I
that
think of a lot.
has- Understandable.
Yeah.
It's a story of your past and what you hope for.
I'd like to think it's just a part of something in my brain. We're in a wholly different world now. I don't even really know if it's a different dimension or a different plane. I can't really put my finger on it. But I still see her, behind trees and amidst crowds. So, perhaps I really am losing my mind.
What's the world playing tricks on you?
It's a cruel trick, indeed.
The mind holds on to that which it cares about most.
As you all sit there and slowly nightfall approaches, the night stirs as several large shapes, dark shapes, emerge from beneath the mountain crags, one among them towering above the others, bulky body easily twice the size of theirs. The pack turns south, then west, hopping along the shoreline of Lake Baratok until its members vanish into the dark, clustered trees of the Salvage Woods. At which point, you'd see Esmeralda slowly get up from the campfire, dusting off her pants. Well, I suppose that is our signal.
It seems to be so.
Yes.
Into the belly of the beast. Hopefully not literally.
Yes.
Little more early than I afraid we would hope. As you all approach the entrance of the werewolf den, above the tree line, carved into the side of the Rocky Mountain spur, is a wide, torchlit cave. It looks like a gaping maw of a great wolf. An enormous beast's carcass lies crookedly along the bottom of the cliff, beside the cave's mouth. An enormous elk, easily as tall as two men standing atop of one of each shoulder. Much of the flesh has been stripped from its bones, and its entire throat has been ripped away. You guys arrive. Bum, bum.
I'd like to preemptively summon next, just in case.
Well, it's a good thing I have them already on the map.
Good.
Wasn't that a lovely, welcome mat?
It is.
Lovely.
So happy you agree. Also, hope you guys enjoy how the map looks. How you guys can kind of, sort of, see a little bit of the mountainside and such.
Yeah, I like that. It's cool.
What's up?
My brain's immature.
Oh yeah?
So
Have
nothing
to
new
walk
there.
over and give him a slap.
You can see the whole map, Brandon.
Uh-huh.
This made me laugh.
Well, I gotta see where your mouse is.
Like all this.
Oh, how you guys can see the. Okay, I see.
Sam.
I see.
Okay.
It's because of the torchlight. You guys can see that little bit right there.
The torchlight represents.
Trust me when I say, if you start moving in that direction, that bit of
It's
the
not
rock
gonna look
formation
like
will,
that?
the rock formation will start disappearing.
Oh, yeah, it's starting to disappear. You can still
That's
see
okay,
the shapes though.
That's okay. I screenshotted it.
Oh, how I'll kill you.
One second,
Actually,
I just heard something falling down.
Oh,
No
no
worries.
worries.
I did mention before, but now we're actually closer. I would like to do it.
Okay.
I would like to use Pass Without Trace.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just do this real quick. Goodbye. And if possible, I don't know if we're just stomping in here or if we're planning on sneaking.
We should probably sneak, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Well.
If so, I would like to stealth as well.
As you guys scale up the mountain a bit to get close to the entrance. Here. Like, the map is actually seen by chat.
Seems like we've enabled ASMR burb.
Oh, what do you mean?
I don't know. You just suddenly got much more. I don't know how you describe it.
Like I'm quieter?
Closer to the
no.
mic?
Yeah, closer to the mic.
Oh, you
probably.
know, it's because I lean forward.
I was gonna
No,
say
it's-
he shrimped.
Can you
Like
like
shrimp
whisper
doing
into the
like
mic?
yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
God damn it. Good sound.
I've done ASMR on this channel before. I don't want to right now, but I can.
ASMR. You're a D&D party sneaking into a werewolf den.
Indeed.
Not even gonna humor it.
So-
Just
Nope.
Are
What's
we
up?
rolling stealth?
I recommend it.
all of us. Oh,
Please remember you get a +10.
As you all approach, the open jaws of the wolf's head form a 15-foot high canopy of rock over the cave mouth, held up by 5 natural pillars of rock. The ceiling rises to a height of 20 feet inside the cave. Small clusters of amber light dot the walls, casting a faint glow across the cavern floor.
How do you add the +10?
Just in a situational bonus, type in 10.
Yeah.
For context, I rolled a natural 2 there, and it's a 19.
Nice.
Nice.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back. We're stealthing up.
Yep.
I've passed without trace already, by the way. To try and assist our dear friends.
I am so quiet.
Let's go. Oh, look at how
we're sneaking.
healthy they are.
I feel like I'm letting aside them. I'm like mumbling incantations to try and keep the pass without trace up, and that's why I'm not as sneaky as everyone else.
Let me roll for the NPCs.
Stealth.
25 for Esmeralda.
Dude, you have no idea.
I'm gonna laugh if Cere's the lowest one.
Why isn't it rolling for me? I keep wait one
No,
second.
you rolled it. You rolled 26.
I did? I don't see it on my screen.
Whew. Irene
Okay,
right there
was
next to you.
And Irina did roll
a.
a 2. So, you know.
I also rolled a 2.
Yeah.
Wait,
right next
I
to
think
you,
my
man.
thing is bugged.
No, Kiso, you rolled it. I see it in
Okay,
chat.
okay, okay, so something's weird with my thing. One second, let me reload.
Okay.
Like I don't see stuff happening.
Everything's
I'm
gone
already.
dark.
Are you saying like your token? That's because Esmeralda turned off their torch.
No, like I don't see rolls in the text chat.
Oh.
Oh, you may have to refresh, possibly?
Yeah, one second. There we go. Okay, I see it now. There we go.
Okay.
Where is everybody?
They turned off the torch. You don't have dark vision, that's why.
Oh no, Kiso.
Let me go back. Let me go back.
My eyes are going again.
Come on, Granddad, I got you.
You gotta hold Kiso's hand.
Get
Hold
your
on,
hands
dude.
off! Get your hands off me!
Shut up,
Beat
Granddad.
him with your
Hurry up.
cane.
You can't see. I'm trying to be your eyes. Let's go.
I mean, Vivienne would have a hand on someone in front of her because she doesn't have dark vision either.
Mhm.
I would,
Oh,
if I would like
I'll
lock
hold-
arms with you,
Oh, okay.
if you
Come
want.
on, Kiso.
We both do.
Mom,
Yeah, we both lock arms with you, carry you
Mom
along.
Vivienne has her two daughters holding each of her hands.
Come on,
Works for
mother,
me.
hurry up.
And I'm holding Grandpa on me.
We really are a family.
How
Just
old
to
is
see
Vivienne?
Kiso.
Just for like record.
Vivienne is in her late 40s.
Okay, I have like
She
few
is
decades on you.
48. Yeah, but
My
she's old for
headcanon is
human
that-
years.
My headcanon is that she
True.
was secretly actually quite young. Like she'd end up being like 31 or something like that. We're all calling her old. It's like,
That is pretty old, honestly.
nah.
Smells awful.
It's probably that.
I don't-
deer.
I don't have dark smell, so I can't smell anything.
Dark smell.
Yo, we
Dark
got
That is a
sense,
face
dark
of a
sense,
person that
sorry,
looks
dark
like
sense.
they are on a missing poster. Saying, did you have some missing posters up ahead?
No. I did make some images, so like for the NPCs you guys can meet here. If you
Just
you
the
choose
one
to
we can see.
talk to them. Up ahead, the cave splits into two, the left and the right around you. You can hear the faint sound of trickling water echoing from the right side passage. Standing crouched on a 5-foot-high ledge, however, between the divide, are two feral-looking women wearing shredded clothing and clutching spears. They seem to be having conversation with one of them.
Can you
They
get where they're
seem-
sitting at all?
They don't seem super attentive at the moment. They seem more hyper-focused in their conversation.
God damn it, Kiso.
Can we hear them?
No, it's too
Um,
dark.
You can faintly hear the conversation. They seem to be debating over what tastes better.
Oh, they're freaks.
They seem specifically arguing over whether goat or elk tastes better.
Oh,
That's
fair.
easy.
That's
Oh,
You're a
not
paladin.
so much of a freak. I thought they were gonna be like, do the elderly taste better, or do like ripe
Yeah,
older
yeah.
adults
It's like
taste better? I was like,
I quite enjoy the taste of children.
I was like, oh, they're freaks. And then they're like, oh, goats and elk. Oh, never mind. I'm just an asshole. I just jumped to conclusions.
Yeah, actually, don't be. Come on.
As
Yeah,
you
it's on
all
one
sit out front in the cold mouth entrance, how long are you guys gonna stay out there? Because otherwise, I will need a con save.
Fuck that.
None of you guys
man.
bought winter clothing still.
I
Come on,
mean,
Granddad.
Going in.
considering what we rolled, I think we should be able to sneak past them, right?
Most probably.
You can certainly
This is where the
attempt.
This is where Lynn's like, you had to roll a 30.
You moving, Kiso?
Sorry, I can't.
don't think
see,
they could-
but yes.
Okay.
You can see the torchlight.
Granddad, you can kind of see here, you lying ass. You're just blind.
Oh, sorry. I was sorry. I had my eyes shut.
Oh, we
So we
really
going-
are a bunch of
we-
fools.
We're going
Uh,
left or right.
I would
Question.
Yeah.
Say right.
Answer.
Right.
Right. All right. Let's go right.
Also, yeah, Samael and such should be in the front. I am not gonna be leading this pack.
You have the most stealth. It's probably bit. Well, no, never mind.
As you guys are walking past the duet of women, you hear one of them say, "You know, now that I think about it, I think it might just be better to taste the man, no? Yes, I suppose you're right. It has a weird aftertaste that just keeps staying with you.
Hurry up.
Samael will turn around like to everybody very slow.
Maybe we should be more prejudiced then.
I'll turn around since I'm like right next to them, and you'll just see me mouth like, I fucking knew it.
Dear friends, I ask that you stay near me as I have a small area of these shadows.
Good. We're waiting on you. Kiso, get over here.
So, what did I just say?
What? Jesus.
I get like a giant hearing horn and like put it up to my ear.
We're dead.
You see up ahead a
Whoa!
little bit of a gash in the rocky ceiling above that allows gray light, cold drizzle of the outdoors to seep into this dark, dank, torchlit cave area, where an underground spring has formed in a pool of water roughly 40 feet across and 10 feet deep. You also notice a 5-foot-high ledge to the north overlooks the pool that seems to go deeper into the cave. A similar ledge spans the eastern wall of the northwestern hewn staircase leading up to it. A few crates sit atop the eastern ledge.
Let's check out the crates.
All right, let's go. Stick together, everyone.
As you guys pass by the water, you notice a soft ripple runs across the surface of the dark pool.
A soft rip.
Mm-hmm.
Where does the ripple look like it's coming from?
Right about like here.
Can we see, is that like a deeper part or something like that that's causing it? Like, is there like an undercurrent?
Do you go closer to the water so you can see? Because this is dark ass fucking water because there's no light near it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd kind of get to around about here and try and peer. I'm not going in the water.
First thing you notice, Cere, when you look over at the water, first thing you notice is your own reflection. You see your own reflection, but your eyes are sunken black voids. Your frame thin and filled with necrosis. Your fingers bone and claw as a cloak of blood adorns your soulless eyes, as glowing green hex marks is your undying frame from your neck down to your chest cavity.
Cere kind of shudders at that and just kind of mutters something about heresy. She's like, ugh, that looks so heretical. Ugh.
As
Cool, though.
Esmeralda looks over to see what you're looking at, you'd also be able to see Esmeralda's reflection.
She looks similar?
Her reflection is semi the same, but with black sclera and golden irises, predatory canines, oily black fur covering her skin, with a terrible snarl splitting her face, literally from ear to ear.
Maybe let's get away from the water, guys.
Behind her, you'd see Irina. However, similarly, she looks just as she does now. However, you notice that bloody, empty eye sockets fill her head, pallid, ashen skin, her lips sewn together, misty chains binding her wrists, and her own rapier piercing her stomach. She looks down, horrified. Anyone else wish to look at their own reflection?
Vivienne,
Yes.
can you go
No,
ahead and
let's
pull people
keep
back from it?
moving.
Yes, I wish to look at mine. He's
Kiso.
extremely curious.
With your own reflection, it's very much the same as you, but with your eyes a milky white, your feathers torn and in disarray, shivering with frostbite, and your chest cavity ripped open and your heart bleeding alone. In your arms you see held is a skeleton of a small Kenku. Surrounding him is a family of larger skeletal Kenkus with their hands upon your shoulder.
That's tough.
Hey guys, we should probably get away from the water.
And Samael,
That's
as you're
quite
passing by the water, you were able to catch a glance.
Samael,
Oh,
look.
God.
You would see yourself same as you are today and now, but you're split in two. Not severed, to clarify, but more of you look like two people cut in half and put together. As you see on one side, your eye glowing a bright gold with streams of gold ichor running down your cheek. The halo above your head shattered, and your wing broken. On the other side, you are burned and scarred, barbs growing from your shoulder as your eyes are glowing with flames filled with rage. The horn slowly is growing from the side of your head.
Yeah, this can either come to pass or be just something random, but I'd rather not think about it right now. I'll
We
grab
all get
Cere by
horrifying.
I'll
we
grab
get
Cere by the
horrifying.
hood and move away.
Yeah, you post Cere and say
Vivienne
this.
is going to pull them all away so they can just
Cere
move
will
on
get
with-
tugged along. But as getting tugged along, she is gonna try and say to Samael, she's like, "How come we all get like horrific, tainted visages, and you end up just looking like half like me and half like I don't know what the other thing was."
Does Vivienne and Willow
Frankly, I'm
not
insulted.
take a glimpse to see what they look like in the reflection?
Willow.
I'm
Does not.
99% sure Vivienne doesn't have a choice but taking a glance when she pulls people away.
Yeah.
With the way her passive perception is.
100%. Vivienne, you would see your own reflection, but you would notice a ghostly green collar is locked around your neck with a chain to match. A wreathed crown of stag horns and leaves adorn your head as tears spill down your face as you hold in your arms a bundle of cloth close to your chest. However, you'd also notice arrows have pierced your chest from behind as blood covers your hands and have stained your fingernail.
It's kind of a low blow, I see.
Above table, I'm kind of curious on Willow's though.
Yeah, well,
Because, like,
I will say out of character, this isn't cursing any of you guys.
No, in the way that I'm interpreting it is like, I guess like a future of a
It's like the
possible
bad
end.
endings. I see it as like
Yeah.
the bad endings
No,
for all of us.
It's
You,
just
you're
trying
more
to
than
fuck
welcome
with
to
you.
roll Arcana check.
I'd
I
like to.
My Arcana's horrible. Let me roll this.
I can do it.
I'd like to actually.
I'll
It's
say
just
for
trying to get in
Willow,
your head.
for you to be able to do it, you'd have to look into the river yourself. Not river, but the pool.
I know,
Okay.
and I will explain
Okay.
myself
Okay.
first. So, when Vivienne's like, getting everyone up there, and we're kind of like all up there at that point, Willow will probably end up looking down
Mhm.
instead of going directly to the pool.
Mm-hmm.
Just out of like pure curiosity, like morbid curiosity in a way. Because everyone seems to be seeing all these horrific visages of themselves, and she should like could not imagine like what on earth like hers would look like, and it's sort of that like I
Wow,
want to
that's
know, but I
awful.
don't.
I can't resist.
Exactly. Like it's like she doesn't want to look, but it's that like weird like deep sense of like I said, morbid curiosity and just like affinity with magic and all that stuff. She's just like in the weird as well.
Dang, Willow's got FOMO. That's crazy.
Basically. And I will like when she does
Well,
I
roll that
will do
Arcana.
the Arcana check.
I'll tell you what you see after I see the roll. After I explain
Damn.
what it
Ooh,
is.
nice.
For the 19, you definitely know. There, you're unable to figure it out, but with a 24 total, Willow, you are able to figure out what this pool is. So, this pool is very similar to that of a normal water pool. There doesn't seem to be, as far as you can tell, any enchantment that would affect anyone who were to drink from it, or anyone who were to step into it. However, it does appear to reflect a distorted image. Instead of one's own reflection shown, a creature who looks into this pool sees a monstrous image that reflects its own worst impulses, urges, desires, and fears manifested. As you look into the pool yourself,
That kind of weirdly goes with what I said.
you see
Honestly.
in the pool a phantasmal skeletal hand is wrapped around your throat, A wedding gown adorns your body as your face is stricken with fear and duress. Your facial makeup is changed, matching that of the huntress that you met many ago. Additionally, you would see puppet strings tied to your limbs as you hold in your hands a fanned, revealed set of cards, the Taroko deck.
Hmm. Do I see what the cards are revealed as?
You cannot. It seems almost specifically that you cannot. That the water itself is keeping them unknown.
Hmm. Well then. She will not comment on it, as she kind of did that in secret a little bit. Not gonna lie. But I'd say like she'd probably be like back here because no one else moved.
I can't move until everyone else moves because else Kiso is going to be out of the bubble.
Out of range.
Oh, thank you,
So
Kiso.
why is Oh, I forgot. Kiso took damage because of the joke that Mel made. I was like, why is Kiso
Understandable.
low?
Did get
Damn
okay,
it.
never mind.
Well,
You guys look inside the crates.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Looking inside the crates, you'd see that they just contain heaps of adult-sized clothing.
They ate
No
these people. They ate them. They ate these people. These are their clothes. They don't need the clothes.
I mean, they were really talking about the flesh of man. I would assume they ate people.
That checks out. Are any of them notably like winter clothing?
Give me an investigation check to see if you can scour about to see if you can find something.
Cere, these are the clothes of the dead. But
They
yes,
do
are there
not
any?
eat
I am
them.
quite cold. I am quite cold.
You do not find anything, Cere.
Summer
what?
Clothes.
Is over here inside of your range, sorry.
I believe so. Yeah. I think
Okay,
this
that-
whole area is currently.
Now I'm gonna go over here and investigate too.
If not, I'll move up. Yeah, it's up to here.
Well, Willow, you're able to find a single winter jacket.
Nice.
Can I look?
And Samael, you also are able to find 2 winter jackets.
Nice.
So you can more than welcome to roll an investigation, but no guarantee. Do not find any.
All right. All right. We'll turn around with the 2 coats. Who's cold?
For now,
I will offer the one I found to Vivienne.
Vivienne will go ahead and accept it.
I'll offer the 2 I found to Cere and Irina.
We'll graciously accept it. She does not have a coat.
Jerry,
Sorry,
come
will
on.
kind of- Sorry, we'll
Come
kind of
on.
go,
You know you want it.
I think that one better suits you.
I'm not all that cold. You can take it.
You sure?
Yeah, that's cool. Trust me, I've been in worse scenarios.
I have as well.
Cere contemplates for a moment, trying to find a way of making him feel colder. Before eventually reluctantly taking it and going, fine, I'll take it for later.
Absolutely.
Irina, you're
Wait a
right.
minute.
Thank you.
Is Zek wearing a fur coat?
No.
Who?
Ezekiel's armor, his
Oh,
clothing and
Fuck.
shit is torn apart.
Damn. Should've
Were
asked
you
for
gonna
it.
take him out just to steal his shit?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm gonna sneakily try and put the coat onto Kiso.
Can we share it?
You can have it for now.
Well, thank you. It's quite kind of you. Are you sure you don't need it?
I'm fine for now.
I insight that.
Sure. I mean, you know that, like, from what Cere's told you, Cere likely is used to being in environments that are colder, given that, like places with ghosts and stuff like that tend to be like colder.
I see. I just don't want to be the subject of pity, that's all.
Oh, it's not pity, trust me.
It's just looking out for one another.
Exactly. We're all friends here.
We're friends? That's
Says
Chai.
Especially you, Chai. Especially you,
Oh.
Chai. You're like bestie.
You see, there's like a fist bump.
Samael's hand will like cusp his head and like rub it, like, yeah.
Esmeralda will pipe up. Don't believe there's anything to do here.
Yeah. We should keep moving.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
that's
gonna
what
have
we're-
to go. We're gonna have to go left this time. Remember, stay together.
You leave my shroud, you get eaten by wolves without me.
Without you. So you want to?
No, I'm saying you will be eaten and I will not be.
I know. I was making a joke.
Cere's like, I want to get eaten too.
What do you mean? What do
Sorry,
you
very
mean by
much
that?
does not want that.
What do you mean by that?
Kiso, get over here.
I just provided an in-lore explanation of why I'm always trailing behind the party. So I'm gonna continue to do that because it's part of
Yes.
my.
Yes, and knowing
Part of his
DM,
lore.
he's gonna take the opportunity to get you killed.
I gotta desperately try and micromanage to make sure everyone stays in the circle.
I mean, to be fair, we've also said at multiple points we drag Kiso along, so forced
It's
movement is a thing.
Can you just time to me?
Yeah, have follow on.
Hang on, I left Nex behind.
Next, just phasing through the dirt.
Next
Comes
can go
out of the
through
wall like Homer Simpson.
Yeah.
In
As you
reverse.
guys approach, Kiso, you rush forward
Kiso-
ahead
I
of
did not mean to
everybody.
go that forward.
You moved your token there.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to keep up. I'm not actually running ahead in character.
You would notice, for one, a 5-foot-high stone ledge overlooks the large cave, which above smoldering campfire. Far west end, this floor is covered in gnawed bones. An old, scrawny wolf lies curled up by the fire, its head turned away from you. Seems to be asleep.
Is it? Oh, just for the record, like canonically, I'm always the caboose. Like I'm always at the back
Why are you leaving the front?
because I was moving. Is it like? Does it appear to be a normal wolf? Just like besides being scrawny.
You wouldn't know.
What
You
kind of
have
bones?
no idea.
What kind of bones are all around? Are those human bones? Can I roll like a medicine check for
Potentially.
that?
That'd be a medicine, yeah. Go for it.
That seems kind of sus. I'm a doctor. I know these things.
A lot of human bones. There's some animal bones, but there's also a lot of human.
Well, it appears you were right, Sam. They are freaks, and not the good kind.
It's nice to know that somebody believes me.
Sorry for
do-
doubting you.
I do see openings up ahead above us.
We should head that
What-
way.
What do we do about the
What?
wolf? Then?
One more time.
What do we do about the wolf?
We leave it be.
It's sleeping. If it wakes up, we deal with it.
If it wakes up, I'm pretty sure everything else is gonna wake up here, including the 2 guards in the front.
Exactly.
No.
That's why we leave it be.
I don't think we're here to clear the nest. I think we have an objective.
I'm
Here
just
to
thinking
get
worst case
the
scenario.
sun.
I'm just saying, worst case, if everything wakes up, we're gonna have to fight our way out.
Worst
Or
case, I will
run.
cut its head off myself. Watch for the bones. Oh, that's a big one.
Right, Kiso is side of the Bell ring.
So,
No,
Okay,
no, god damn it.
No. I tell you, I've been the caboose.
You need to be in game to move your
You need to be
token. Like,
so you gotta stay tapped in, buddy.
Please stay focused.
Please focus on keeping up with everyone. Yes, stop seeing up ahead. Sorry, we'll kind of go, whoa, that's a big one over there.
Yeah, you would see a rather large werewolf that seems to be curled up and sleeping on a bed of pelts.
I knew it.
Yeah, I can see it too. But
And sleeping in front of it seems to be 3 other wolves.
these are the moments where I wish Kiso had like
Fireball.
dark sight. No, not fireball. Definitely not fireball.
Describe them to me.
How would I describe that?
potentially the alpha.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
Something of a
No, the
sigma
alpha
Maybe.
left, I think.
damn.
Huh?
How much
Oh, that's
bigger is
right.
it compared to the other wolves?
No, this is.
And
a
would I be
werewolf.
able to tell?
I mean, this thing is like bigger than a human, right? It looks like it's about like 8 feet tall. They were probably standing. So it's bigger than the other wolves, but it's not bigger than like the dire werewolf you guys ran into.
Okay. Then I'll turn around to Kiso and be like, okay, Kiso, so it's smaller than what we fought, but bigger than what we just saw down there.
You'd see that in one of its hand, it has a human skull, which it seems like be able to full on palm someone's head.
It's also got decorations.
Lovely.
So let's quietly keep moving forward.
Indeed, watch the bones.
Keep up, Grandpa. Let's go.
Indeed, keep up.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh, what is that?
I can see pretty far ahead. There is
Ooh.
a person right
Nice.
there.
No way, you saw the corpses and you were like, ooh.
No, I'm looking at the shiny.
Oh,
I can't see that. I can't see that in game.
Don't let your bird brain get ahead of you. Also, I can see quite far. There is a person in a cage.
Indeed,
Oh,
I
I
can see them
can't
too.
I can't see that yet. The rock's in the way.
I can't see
Don't
fucking
worry.
anything. Lol.
Come around this way, you'll see it.
Oh, I would like to summon. Wait a minute. No,
Oh,
never
I can
mind.
see him. Wait.
No.
Yeah, no.
Can I ready the action if we get into combat? I'd like to dump out my mystery yeasts.
Yeah,
It should be
that's
two.
fine.
Okay,
Please
I
don't
did
bring
it.
them out
I
now.
don't want
Everybody
to
not
because
work
I
this
don't
out.
want them out. I don't want them out right now, but I don't want to have to take action to summon them in combat.
I was gonna say they'd have to roll stealth, and they don't have
Yeah, no, I'm
great
not,
stealth.
no, I'm not doing. It'd be in his second 2 mystery yeasts, and I'm not doing that.
Come on, keep up.
Oh, whoops, my bad, Ray.
Ah, whoa. What the fuck?
I was trying to grab Esmeralda and Irina, and I accidentally
Mhm.
grabbed you also in that. See, they don't have dark vision, so I just see walls for some sections, unless there's a torch.
Okay.
There's 2 people here.
Target identified, possibly?
we have to get
As you
to
guys
this way?
walk into this room, this rough-hewn stairs lead down to a torchlit cave with a small crack in the chamber ceiling. A shaft of moonlight illuminates a crude wooden statue, standing against the far wall, bearing the rough likeness of a wolf-headed woman draped in garlands of vines and night flowers. Around its neck hangs a gleaming platinum medallion in the shape of a sunburst. A large ruby set in its center, and mounds of gold, silver, and gemstones are piled high around its base. Behind the statue, 2 maggot-ridden corpses hang from iron shackles bolted to the walls. Golden coins have been driven into the empty sockets where their eyes should be. You notice that 2 wooden cages flank the statue, their lids held shut with heavy rocks. To the left cage kneels a youth with sunken eyes and loose, tattered clothing. a rotted human leg laid across the ground before his cage. In the cage next to him, an amber-eyed woman wearing shredded clothes sits with her legs crossed, her shaggy rope-like strands of hair tied back behind a black bandana. Silver collars around their necks are chained to the walls behind them, each collar banded, carved with patterns of wicked-looking thorns.
I think we found what we're looking for.
Perhaps.
We need to check for traps.
Cere, due to how close you are, you'd be able to see the woman. She looks very familiar to the drawing that you had seen in Ilya's bedroom.
Mmm.
Oh. Hmm. All right, target spotted. Let's do this.
Do we have anything to like check for traps?
I mean,
Vivienne, you've got
nobody
good eyes.
Yeah, just investigate. We don't have to detect traps. I feel like in a treasure room, or well, also slash dungeon.
This seems more like a shrine and also a prison.
Yes.
Strange combination, but
Should we go ahead and do? Yeah, we'll do a perception check to see if there's anything that looks like it could be a trap.
Sure.
I think tripwire.
You notice
Could I assist?
the young boy in the cage looks up at you all and notices you all. Kind of backs up away from the front entrance of the bars, back against the wall, a bit terrified and scared by your
Cere
presence.
tries to put like a finger to her lips as if to be like, shh.
Yeah, Samuel will do the same, like, and wave his hand, like, be quiet.
Does nobody have message? Fuck,
I have
don't
sending.
have it. Sorry.
I have sending.
okay.
To a creature.
I'll mention for sending, you still have to speak it out.
Oh yeah, true. 'cause
As
it's,
would
like,
he
long
also.
distance message.
Yeah, let's not risk that.
Whisper.
Let's just
No.
get closer. and
No.
Whisper. Sorry, I'll
So
take a
what do
step
we-
forward.
Is it perception or investigation to see if there's like traps? Either way, they're both horrible for me, but I'll roll just to see.
I think Vivienne was gonna do perception.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Can also
perception
kind
to
of-
see if there is any, and then it would be either investigation or sleight of hand to disable them.
Yeah.
Oh.
Being that I want to move forward, Cere would also have a look if possible.
Well, the 22,
That's pretty.
you do not see any traps.
22?
Damn, both of you. All right.
Nice. Yeah, Cere's gonna immediately advance forward then, if possible.
You'd see the
Stay
young
in the
boy
circle.
kind of like back against the wall. Who are you? You're not with them wolves,
Again.
are you?
Circle.
No, your father sent us.
We're friends of Anna and Dimitri.
Burgomasters of Kresk?
Vivienne will silently nod.
You'd hear Esmeralda kind of whisper a bit towards Willow. Is their son?
Hmm.
Ilya.
Ilya, we have come to rescue you. Well, and of course, whoever this may be.
Before I
We
introduce
weren't
her,
aware that, yeah.
let me real quick introduce Ilya. Realizing I might not have Ilya's handout. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Thought I had it already. Oh my god, I did not. Just one moment.
I do acknowledge that I did kind of go on a whim there, assuming that he was like their son, and I kind of went, "Oh, what if it's not him?" I went, "Oh, the like Bergam." I was like, "Oh no, what if it's not him?" What
You're
if
just
it's
some kid. Just some kid stuck in there.
It's like, yeah,
Hey,
we're just the same.
congratulations! You're getting a new family member.
Congratulations, your family now.
oh, sorry. We were looking for someone else. We're just gonna go now. Goodbye.
We'll just leave you there. Catch you later.
Godspeed, kid.
There you go.
Good luck.
While they're doing that, could I like check this out?
Yeah.
No,
You know what?
While you're looking at that, you'd prompted asking who the other person was, and she will introduce herself.
So don't wander.
I wanted to keep an eye on this just in case somebody's coming. I don't want to get jumped. No, seriously.
My
the
name
squishy one was the
is
first to die.
Ulika Forensku. I must adjudicate. Backlitters may have departed for his hunt. The others may still linger deep in the... This is what she looks like. Her clothes are a bit tattered and torn.
Oh, nice. If I recall correctly, we count 9 still remaining.
9 what?
You know what?
Willow, while you're looking at this statue, what exactly are you trying to determine? Find out.
Let me. I don't know if I'd be able to. Oh no, I'm proficient in religion. I mean, I probably might not know a whole lot about this world necessarily, but I guess maybe to like figure out what this is connected to. Like, is it a deity they worship, or is it just like a weird shrine in general, or is it maybe connected to? I know this is a lot of things actually. Just like,
Yeah, I need more specifics. I'm sorry, Ray.
would I be able to discern if this is like a deity specifically only to this world? If it's like recognizable.
Yeah, roll me a religion. Well, with a total of a 12, this doesn't exactly look familiar. You've definitely seen iconography akin, or that could be vaguely similar, but you aren't able to identify any god from Theranin that resembles this woman.
And then, if possible, could I inspect the medallion around her neck?
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to debate if I want Arcana or religion itself. I mean, I can probably make an assumption that it could be related to like the sun god of this realm, or in general, or like I can't remember his name, the Dawn man. I want to
Eternal
discern
Dawn.
if it's magical. Yeah, Eternal Dawn. My bad.
Gotcha. Roll me an Arcana check. I'll remind you, it is made of platinum
Oh.
with
Not
a
great.
golden chain.
I rolled an 11.
You don't know.
Fuck.
Has beautiful engravings on it, though. However,
I debate on taking it.
Zulika turns to you all. So, what is it you chose to sneak inside of a werewolf den for?
I promised to get him back. Cere says, pointing towards the Burgomaster's son. And by extension, I don't plan on leaving you here. Unless you want to.
Unless you want to end up like one of those guys.
I would prefer not to be eaten by them. However, I do believe it might be a little sacrilegious. You notice Ilya speak up on the mention that you're bringing him back to his parents. Is my parents and sister well? They're all right.
Yes. They are all eternally worried about you, though.
Sister, all right.
Indeed. She seemed a little shaken, but we were able to help her overcome that which troubled her.
See, he kind of like tries to bite back a couple tears, seeming to assumably know what happened and remember it.
We know the situation, and you needn't worry.
How do their cages look like they're secured?
Purely due to the heavy rocks on top of them.
Samael, you're up.
You'd also notice that there
Yeah.
is collars attached to the walls by chain.
You can deal with that.
Does it look like there's a way that they can be lockpicked or anything like that?
I was gonna say,
Okay.
Vivienne, Cere, you're on lock picking. I'll get the rocks off.
Yeah, Vivienne will work on the lockpicking.
How tall is this? Like, can I like easily just jump up and pull myself on top?
Or we could silently lift you up.
So you give
No,
me a
I
boost.
need. Why I need somebody to silently be there to hold the rocks so that they just don't fall down.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. How about the opposite? How about one of you goes on top and pushes it down to me so that it doesn't, so that like I can at least stop it from making a huge sound.
You can catch it better.
Yeah, I can catch it a lot better than you guys. At least like y'all can push it off and I'll grab it.
I don't think I'm capable of pushing it off, unfortunately. But...
Vivienne will go ahead and get up on top of the cage to push the rocks off to Samuel.
Okay then.
As you all are
That'll-
working, Zulika will look over at Willow, noticing Willow taking interest in the statue. You know who she is?
I'm not very familiar with her now.
She's Mother Knight.
See.
So, some changes have recently happened. She kind of like looks over at the corpses attached to the wall.
How so?
Let's just say I used to be the High Priestess of our goddess. But, kind of gestures towards the cage and then the collar to her neck.
They turned on you?
Just one man. A pack leader. Now a pack leader after able to defeat my husband in single combat.
Who's your husband?
Scrolls. Scrolls.
While you're
Well, I'm
looking,
trying to see if we've heard of him.
Emil.
Wolfie McWolfman, that's his name.
while you're looking, Samael will like lock his fingers to give like a foothold of Vivienne. Like, alrighty, up you go.
I'd like to try and give the help action as well to Samael and Vivienne if I
Oh,
could.
no test needed. No test needed.
Okay, just checking.
With her acrobatics and Samael's strength score, no roll needed in that. No roll needed. I'm not wasting rolls on that.
Do I need a roll to catch the rocks, or am
No.
I perfectly fine too?
You are
Alright,
perfectly
badass.
fine too with your strength.
Pass the rocks, and I'll lightly put them like over here in the corner.
My husband's name was Emil. He became the pack leader after Skennis had stepped down. Too old to continue.
Of course.
Interesting.
Those who reach a certain age must rest. Do you know? I kind of like lift the medallion up a little to like kind of let her see it. Do you know what the significance of this is?
Before she answers, as soon as you touch the medallion, a couple things you notice.
Oh,
For
no.
one,
Oh, no.
you sense a strong presence from this amulet.
Oh no.
Not a sentient presence, to clarify.
Okay.
But this amulet has stories. It has a past and a history, a very
making
ancient and
this-
long one.
1,000 times more interesting for Willow. She might actually take it.
However,
Oh, no.
you also feel what feels like daggers burning into your eyes. You almost hesitantly look up at the statue, because it feels like the statue itself is burning embers into your back, as if
I
the wolf woman
instantly-
itself were to just come to life, tear you apart.
I instantly remove my hand. Like, I don't take it off of it, but I, like, lifted it a little to, like, you know.
She seems smile. She seems to smile as if like noticing what you just experienced. A knowing smile, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
What is it you're wondering about?
I'm like holding my hand that, like, you know, that touched it just out of pure start. Just what the significance of it was.
It's a special artifact. Us werewolves call ourselves the children of the Mother Night, and offer their treasures and gifts from many generations. However, as you have noticed, the Horde is cursed. Any creature that steals from Mother Night will lose its life in the process.
Fair. I just gotta like.
Interesting.
I don't know, however, what that amulet is. I only know that it has been upon the neck of the statue for decades.
I, as an apology to Mother Night for intruding, will. I don't really have much to leave, but I will leave my remaining 8 gold.
Julika smiles and then speaks up. I can offer you this, you curious friend. I will allow you to take that amulet. However, I must ask for something in return.
What might that be?
Well, 2 things. For one, freedom of my nephew and I here.
Working on that.
Nephew.
And secondly,
Nephew.
if you were able to make a oath of the new moon with me.
What does that entail?
I need you to swear an oath to the Mother Night to rescue Emil from the dungeons of Castle Ravenlock. Help him reclaim his position as pack leader from Kirill.
Interesting.
Right up my alley.
It's at that moment, Willow, the name clicks. Kirill is the name that Bianca gave you for her husband.
Oh. I fucking knew it.
And Bianca's that lady that was by the lake, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I must warn you, though. Should you fail in keeping this oath, by the moon's first light after the next new moon, Your vitality and strength will sap with each night that this oath remains unfulfilled.
Just as much as I want those who are innocent to be away from Strahd, I worry that with everything that we've been trying to do here would cause time to run out.
He smiles. Well, something tells me our dear friend, he kind of looks over at the wolf-headed woman, will postpone the moon for a week for you.
Good to know.
A week is certainly a short time. I mean, our goals seem to align, but she couldn't push it back another week, could she?
An oath is made, I do not see why not.
You know, you could always just wait till after we accomplish the goal to accept the amulet.
I don't know their practices.
Never hurts to ask.
I'm afraid we have a specific order of things for our people.
Eh,
And
nothing wrong with that.
Mother Night is not the closest friend to Strahd. After all, when he first awoke, he had sent 2 vampire spawn to inform our pack of his revival. And when those spawn had attempted to collect some of the treasure as tax to Strahd, the curse froze them and devoured their life force, rotting their corpses away until they died of necrosis. Emil had then ordered their corpses bolted to the wall behind the shrine, a warning to those who would steal from Mother Night. For all of his efforts, Carol had been quite unable to remove them. Even he fears Mother Night's wrath, as well as she should.
I was going to say, as he should.
I'll go ahead. I'm assuming we've been able to get the rocks off top of the cage, and I can try and unlock
Yeah.
the collar now.
Yep, you're more than welcome to. I will mention as you get close to these collars, you're able to tell just by like touching it and like getting up close with it, Vivienne. These are magical collars. They have been enchanted in some manner.
Right. So thieves' tools with dexterity, right?
Yep.
I would like to help you. I just worry that
All right.
Shit.
So, Vivienne, as you are close to the collar, you do feel this pain. As you would see large, like, barb, like, piercings shoot out and jute out from the collar, stabbing both you and Ilya.
ooh,
As you both take
Oh god.
41 points of piercing damage.
What
oh
the
my god.
What the fuck?
Excuse me?
You see Ilya kind of like grab the bar, trying his best not to scream out in pain.
Imagine an NPC can survive that much damage. Holy shit.
Thankfully
Well,
he
he's
is
not a normal NPC.
thankfully he's a werewolf, so
I'm gonna say, even though.
Saying I'm pretty sure that means I'm going to get a lingering injury.
Yes.
oh
Apologies.
my god.
It's alright.
Oh my oh.
Luckily, it is just a minor one. As you gain a festering wound, your maximum hit points will be reduced by 1 every 24 hours as the wound persists. However, if this is treated by medicine means or even magical means, it will go away.
So it's about. So I was gonna say. So it's about to immediately go away.
Yes.
Yeah, because I was waiting for the lingering injury, then I was gonna say I want to cast Cure Wounds on Vivienne.
Fair enough.
I was gonna use lay on hands on the kid, bro. Poor guy.
Yeah,
Go-
you can
yeah,
heal the kid.
go for it.
I'm killing Vivienne.
How much are you gonna heal the kid for?
10.
Okay. Let's see if he's still bleeding. Ah, he's no
I
longer
was not
bloodied.
expecting that much damage. That is horrific.
It would appear, Vivienne, that whoever has made these collars have taken great works to make sure that whoever is wearing a collar cannot, you presume, be able to transform, as you can identify these collars are made out of silver.
Yeah, like the ones we've seen in the basement.
Yes. However, these also seem to be unremovable unless someone has either the key or is able to forcibly break them open or masterfully unlock them.
I have a secondary thought.
However,
Where does the collars connect to?
the chain themselves do not seem magical.
Perfect. Anyone good at cutting a chain?
Good at
Samael,
cutting a
probably.
chain? You want me to just
Or
break
have
the
the
chain off the
strength
wall?
to.
You're also pretty sure that you could just break the bolt pin that's on the collar that connects it to the chain.
I can
That's
do
kinda what
that?
That's what Cere was trying to point out. Like, hey, couldn't we just like take off like the other side?
So-
Rather than fucking around with
Dude.
a lock?
So there's the bolt pin that's in the wall. That one would be a lot harder to take out. Then there's the bolt pin
Oh.
that connects the chain to the collar. That's a lot easier to take out. If anyone has like a hammer, they could easily just smack it like 2-3 times. It'd come out. You could just pull it out.
Hey,
Doesn't really
Samuel,
have
do
a
Would you be
have-
able to do it with the pommel of her short sword?
Yeah,
I was gonna say I have a
Because
dagger.
Vivienne's
Can I
gonna
use it
do
with
that
that?
instead then.
that could work. You just wouldn't be able to do it like physically with only your hands. That's the reason why they're stuck in here with it on. They don't have a way to do that.
But we can't really reach either.
Yeah, but Vivienne can when
Considering-
she's in there, so
Yeah. Could I give them
and-
the help action to try and try and pull the chain taut a bit to make
No
it
help
easier for
action
Vivienne
needed.
to-
No help action
Okay.
needed.
she
Yeah,
is
perfect.
also gonna cast Cure Wounds on him too, just to give him some extra HP back
Okay.
as a form of apology for.
Don't worry, priestess. We'll get you out next.
I don't know how safe it would be, but considering there may be a potential opportunity for us to get your husband out.
I'm gonna go over here. You said I could use like the end of the dagger, right?
I'll help.
Yeah.
All right then.
We
I'll
still
go
have to
for it.
pull the rocks off the top of this one.
I presume while Willow was having
Okay,
that
yeah.
conversation, you guys were doing both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
makes sense.
Vivienne will slip over into this one to. She'll look at the priest and go, "Don't worry, I won't try my luck again on game when there's an easier way."
I'd prefer you didn't try, no.
None taken.
As she doing so, she seems to just like unbothered by both of you guys working on the collar and just like looking at Willow, just conversing. But yes, young Ilya there is my nephew. We are of a long descended line of the Kreskov family, who can turn into lycanthropes. However, 13 years ago, I met my husband Emil, another werewolf who had taught me to see the beauty in our condition, in our strain, in our blood. How to master the beast within it through meditation and prayer. Mother Night here. However, my family rejected my efforts to try to assist my family, and so I fled Kresk and came to live with Emil as his wife, and as a member of the werewolf pack here in Borovia. And as my spiritual efforts progressed, a priestess of the Mother Night, divine patron of lycanthropes. Till recently, the werewolf pack ranged far and wide through the mists for its hunts. In those days, the pack was a refuge, a family, for those who'd been outcast for society for fear of their curse. One of those outcasts was Kirill Stovanachit, a young werewolf who joined the pack alongside his wife, Bianca. I had endured years of meditation to master my curse. However, Kirill was impatient, thirsty to prove himself. There's a way for a werewolf to embrace his curse wholeheartedly. Without wisdom or preservation, it is a dark and forbidden thing. It requires the bearer to commit the ultimate taboo. Slay an innocent, one who has done you no wrong, consume their flesh. Though I cannot prove Kirill has done so, his rapid progress roused my suspicions as I watched him warily became more and more ever reckless, bloodthirsty and cruel, often ranging far afield to go hunting on his own. I pity his wife, Bianca, often struggled to calm Kirill's dark moods and rages. Never asked where she came from. When we joined the pack, we were born anew, leaving the ashes of our old lives behind. But I knew she gave up much to be with us, even more to be with him.
That bitch told us she was a herbalist. I
He
knew
is to
something
an
was fishy.
extent. However, 5 years ago, the old pack leader, Skinnis, stepped down from his position. Although Skinnis had chosen Emil, my husband, to succeed him, Kirill challenged Emil to control the pack. Emil had defeated him, however. Kirill had nursed a grudge against Emil ever since. Till 3 months ago. After Strahd had awoken from his long slumber, Emil had begun to discuss a plan for departing to the mists. Before, Strahd had imprisoned them there forever. Not long thereafter, Kirill had vanished from the pack for full 7 days. He returned, he was flanked by 6 of Strahd's direwolves. His lycanthropic strength had mutated and grown, leaving him a terrible force to be reckoned with. He stank of the swamp. You see, she kind of growls a bit, her lip curling. The foul tainted witchcraft. Left
Would
him
you say
more
that he
cursed
was-
than man.
Would you say that he became significantly larger than the other werewolves we see here?
Indeed.
We encountered a large werewolf once.
He beat Emil within an inch of his life. Bade the direwolves to carry him away to the castle dungeons to be punished for his disloyalty. I attempted to try to stop him, but Kirill had defeated me, seized my holy symbol, and imprisoned me within my own shrine room.
I must ask, if I do accept and help you, and we go there and discover the worst could have happened to him, would that null and void the agreement and cause harm to me?
She seems to look down as if, like, she'd been trying to ignore the possibility of her husband's death.
I understand it, but it's unfortunately a harsh truth to life,
But she
especially
looks
in
up
these
to you
situations.
with a determined look. You bring me back his body if he is dead. Then with that I will say the oath is cleared.
What else have I to lose? I'll help you.
Bum, bum, bum. Sorry, I'm rereading what I have for the good old oath. With ease, by the way, you both are able to remove not the collar, but the chain from her neck. She's able to leave. Both her and Ilya still have the collars, of course, on, but are unable to remove them themselves. They are now free from their cages. However, She approaches Willow, outstretching her hand towards her.
Take her hand.
You solemnly swear to seek out Emil, the husband and correct pack leader, the werewolves of Barovia, for that, the Night Mother.
I do.
You would see a tattoo you hadn't noticed on her wrist slowly slide off of her wrist onto yours.
More tattoos.
As you would see, it is almost like an Ouroboros, but of a wolf.
That's cool.
And in where the mouth would be and the wolf at the end of the tail is a crescent moon. And it's almost like a clock. For some reason you can tell this seems to be a clock to tell you when the next moon.
Oh boy.
It was extended by a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You have 1 week
Alright.
from tonight.
And when's our
And
Strahd meeting?
conveniently.
We
Sometime
have
soon.
5 days till Strahd.
Yeah. And with that, Zulika will move to the statue and procure the amulet before handing it off to Willow.
Take it.
The amulet. A little bit of a magic item. A little bit of a special magic item that I'm gonna need our little goobers here, who are CurseofStrahd veterans, to not react too hard to, as Willow has now become the recipient and owner of a legendary item.
Oh?
I
What?
bite
You-
And this is what I get for liking knickknacks.
As you receive and are now the proud owner of one holy symbol of the Raven kind.
Yo.
Ooh.
He said no reacting.
That's all I'm reacting to.
Of the Raven kind.
Wait, does that mean Kiso has to obey her now?
That is a question. I'll also mention for those that are CurseofStrahd veterans, the item is altered. It does not do what it normally does in the book.
I was gonna say, I was like, it does not feel. There's some different there, and I like it. It's cool.
Open up a Willow's character sheet. I can drag and drop it for you.
Funnily, this is more fitting for Samael, but I gratefully accept.
In a weird way, not as much as you think.
Is there a description
Well-
for it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
there's a
Oh,
handout.
okay. It's I'm sorry. I was looking.
Only
I was
for
looking at- I
me.
was looking in the Discord. Okay.
only Willow knows the description and what it can do, so don't start getting all grubby now.
What do you mean? The popped up.
I
Thing
was
popped
gonna
up for
say
me
at
too.
the bottom.
No,
it
no,
says
I,
everything.
David
I'm more
knows.
saying in the instance of who actually has the item on their person.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's meta knowledge, but we can see what it does.
Yes,
We're just
everyone
gonna
can see what it
pretend we
does.
don't. We just pretend we don't.
Zulika, I do have a slight curious question.
Yes. What is the question?
Since we're already entering in here, would it be appropriate to offer some? Well, Vivienne looks at where she's still bleeding from. Tribute to the Night Mother as a means of being a guest.
She gives a little bit of a laugh smile. Well, unless you are someone who has done wrong to nature and to the wilds, she has no need for your blood. And
We shouldn't offer blood to shrines that we don't follow.
And do you
Yes.
know what I follow?
I do not, but
If she has no need, I'm fine with that.
but I figured it'd only be polite to offer since, I
We-
am a guest and I am trying to help hers.
Of course.
As
And
someone
since you said
who
you were the High
has-
Priestess, it only makes sense to ask the proper questions.
Our offering is to secure that you make it out of here.
As you're conversating, Vivienne, with your passive perception, you are able to notice somebody walking over.
Incoming.
You must make haste.
Gonna have my scythe ready. Not like threateningly, just put a hand towards it.
You see she pauses for a moment. Before slowly walking past you all. Kneels before the statue. The Mother Knight.
Just straight up invisible to her.
And a series of things begin to play out. Okay, so what are you doing?
Just I
You
don't know,
came to
revisit-
5 feet of her. That's why I'm asking.
no,
He's
sorry.
just going for the steel chair.
I was just Kiso was just getting fidgety.
You were getting fidgety.
No, I'm not. No, come on.
You'd see her give a glance to Zulika and Elia before kneeling before the statue of the Mother Knight. A few moments later, Zulika pipes up and says, "No stomach for Kirill's hunts, Bianca?" You see Bianca turn towards her and spits on the ground. "I don't need your insults, especially not from a dog." Zulika's eyes Bianca with a bit of sympathy. "That's fair. I may be collared like one, but at least my spirit is free." You see Bianca snarls before stepping towards Zulika. You see her form kind of change as white fur kind of grows off of her back and her mouth turns more of that of a wolf.
Oh, no.
"I don't need your pity either," he growls. Zulika grimaces a bit. "Not pity? Only the words of a friend." Bianca bares her teeth and growls once more. "I made my choice. He needs me." Zulika puts a hand on the statue. "He made this choice long ago. You can still find a different path." You see Bianca tries to, he's resisting the urge to just lunge at Zulika. See her clawed hand, whole werewolf clawed hand, just seems to tighten almost into like a fist. "I gave up everything for him. Do you have any idea what I've sacrificed to be here?" Zulika meets Bianca's gaze without flinching. "Do you?" See, Bianca freezes before her form shifts back into that of a normal human. She turns away from Zulika's cage and pauses. Well, not her cage, but necessarily just to her. Pauses. "Doesn't matter. Never did." As you see, she transforms into that of a large, almost like direwolf size, white wolf. Just slowly leaves the room, giving a side-eye glance to those around her before leaving.
I'm going to presume that we're going to act like we never seen each other.
Is that what you tell her?
As she's beginning to walk away.
As you say that, she will almost to keep you on your toes. She will snip at your ankle, not bite you, but it felt like it was really fucking close.
I kind of jump a bit. It's oh well, shit.
Little biter. We should get going.
Yep, it's time to leave. Come on.
Yeah.
We have overstayed our welcome.
Everybody's staying close to Cere.
As she
You two
departs, you
feel
can kind of
comfortable.
hear down the hallway. Hero returns. He'll skin you alive if you are here.
That's why we're leaving.
Yeah. Let's get out of here.
Let's get moving.
Everybody get on. Everybody get close.
Aylin,
Mm-hmm.
would you mayhaps group me up with the NPCs? I do have to run and grab dinner.
No worries.
Thank you.
Unbelievable. I kid.
Yeah, I have to control. Oh, sorry, Vivienne. You moved.
Fine.
You moved yourself right in my capture grab for Chai and Willow.
Vivienne gets grabbed too.
I've been kidnapped again.
We were grabbing all the NPCs. No, I'm kidding.
Wait, why don't you grab the other
Sweet.
two also?
Oh fuck! I have to grab 5.
Oh my
Yeah,
days.
that's like I saw you like.
I
Poor-
can't play
poor
six as a
DM.
guy.
That's true. Technically 6 because of Chai.
I have a full party.
We're just
Literally.
we're accessories at this point.
Or the arm.
Yeah.
Wait, no, wait.
Yeah, you gotta keep up. That's what I'm saying. You gotta pay attention.
Yeah, pay
Don't
attention,
look
Kiso,
kinda-
you will
As you
not be
guys
welcome.
are moving past, you guys will be able to see up the northern corridor path, the one of which Bianca had left through, this one up here. You would see that there is a curtain that separates your vision from anything further. The curtain is made of that of human skin.
Wow, that
It would
doesn't
appear
surprise me.
Bianca's warning was not an empty threat.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Let's get moving. Come on. Are the NPCs able to also stealth for the purposes of leaving?
Yes.
Okay, good. Just making sure.
Easily,
Sorry,
any
She's so good.
issue that Ilya would have, Zulika is able to offset with her awareness of both the cavern and also her own
Hold on,
stealth.
don't move.
Yeah.
I'm
And I'm
waiting for
counting them
Kiso.
as allies for the purposes of past that trace. Because I believe that's still up. Kiso, stop spinning.
I kill that bird, I swear to God.
I love that Kiso
Please
just
do.
gets really fidgety.
I love that if you tell Mel to pay attention, Mel just starts spinning around and
In retaliation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so much
He's the
Kiso,
runaway.
and it's more like I'm a little fidgety. sometimes.
Yeah, okay. Don't worry. Wait, but come back this way. Hold on.
I can't see anything. I'm lost.
Fuck's sake,
I
Kiso.
I would assume we did buddy system where like
Oh my
since
god,
Yeah, you can help Kiso.
since I brought you in, I bring you out. Come on,
I'm freaking out. I don't know where I
Leave
am.
no bird behind.
stand
Um,
still.
As you
I
all
can't hear you. It's too dark.
descend the mountain, I'm gonna presume Kiso didn't scream.
If he did, I
Eyes the
kill him.
party.
If he did, I scythe him.
You would see the large grouping of werewolves had returned back to the.
Oh shit.
Oh,
You would see one of them, a 10, maybe 12 feet tall werewolf at its maximum height, turn, sniff the air, look in your guys' direction as you guys slowly descend the mountain. Not giving chase, as you see him slowly shift back to his human form. You would
I don't think we're
see
moving slowly.
what he
Like,
looks
can we tell who he
like.
is? Yeah, can we tell who he is?
You'd be able to see what he looks like.
Does the wolf look like the wolf we seen earlier? Like in
Oh,
the
much
campaign?
bigger.
No, different boy. Okay,
he's bigger.
he's a big.
We know
boy.
his last name?
He's a deranged boy.
Well, yeah, you know Bianca's last name. You know his last name.
Oh, okay. I guess, yeah.
Stoyanovich. Look at his deranged eyes.
He's seen shit.
His eyes are a madman. A dog that needs put down.
Hands up. You guys go back to the home screen. You all slowly descend and leave the mountain behind.
Yeah, we did it.
Ah.
Don't scare me like that. What the hell?
Well, that was terrifying.
Indeed. I felt like I was back on that lake.
We'll try and get to like a safer spot before, we try and crack those little, neck braces of yours.
Mhm.
Zulika, were you and Bianca close friends at one point?
When she was new, yes. I pitied her. Husband, the wrathful man, so at least as far as I could tell, never struck her. But he does love her. Not much I know.
That is what she said.
How strange some things are, and how similar they feel.
Indeed. You'd see the Ilya, the young boy, shivering as you guys slowly get closer and closer into the less freezing temps of the forest. And Zulika just kind of like wraps an arm around his shoulder.
My apologies for enduring the cold, but the sooner we get home, the better. You called him your nephew, right? Are you on good terms with his parents?
Last, no.
Bad terms.
Uncomfortable terms.
Are you willing to put those uncomfortable terms to the side?
It is not I who has a problem. I have not seen my little brother in quite some time. Nor have I seen this little one. He kind of ruffles Ilya's hair.
Well, they need family more than ever right now.
Precisely. I'm sure they'll be willing to put things to the side.
You see kind of the mention of them having the curse of the bloodline. Ilya kind of like flinches, with like, you kind of see him shake his head as like trying to deny it to himself. Ilya kind of just looks down at him and just like with a face of sympathy and pity, of that of like a parent who is uncertain of how to comfort their child, but still feels sorry for them.
As I said earlier, your sister is fine. You don't need to beat yourself up over it.
Roll me a persuasion check.
No.
Too bad. You said kind words.
No.
I won't roll.
Okay, never mind. I take it back.
18. You'd see Ilya kind of look up to you. 3 weeks ago, a woman who had resembled Zulika approached me at the shrine of the White Sun, Kresk. Told me she was Zulika, that she was my long absent aunt. Father was secretly a werewolf. a curse passed to me as well. Zulika told me that curse was a mighty weapon against Strahd von Zerevich. Servants of darkness warned me that parents would soon attempt to suppress the black before it emerged. He had told me to refuse the wolfsbane. Feed me. Left correct. I didn't believe it, but soon changed my mind. It actually revealed 8 days later. Determined to keep them safe from God and secretly poured out the my parents had gave me. My mother had locked me father away in Potter's secret basement. I don't fully remember what happened next. I remember waking up in a cage then, following morning, blood staining my memory of what I'd.
I see. Well, if I may, this blessing of sorts can be perhaps used to protect your family, as much as you wish to use it as a weapon against, the creatures of darkness. Perhaps it is best that you stick with your family and ensure that they are safe.
You see Zulika kind of laugh. If he stays with his family, does as they wish, will not be able to transform into a werewolf, nor be able to control it. Subdue it, yes. Elixir. That is all.
Sometimes subduing it may be for the best in cities. Sure, if you're out in the wilderness, it might be fine, but if you're within Kraz, it's important. I believe it's kept at bay.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I feel the will of choice in the matter. If he would want to go through with this and stay with this family, or potentially leave for somewhere that is safe, so that he is able to control and embrace it, if he wants to.
As long as Kirill still leads as pack leader, we'll be nowhere safe. Or as long as that devil lives.
Indeed. I can agree with such things, and yeah, Willow, I think, of all people here, I think you have a good perspective. Cere says, like, ominously. And yeah, it is a choice. Ultimately, it's his decision to make, but I just feel that until the pack is back to how it should be, perhaps it's safer within the
Most
walls
likely.
of Kresk. With kin.
Guys drive back about. Do you guys wish to return to Kresk, or would you like to go somewhere else?
I believe Kresk is where
Yeah,
we need to go, right?
Yeah, we have to take him back.
Let's just go for a wander with them.
As
Just
they're
take them over the
walking
castle.
along, Vivienne would produce her
stone crest and show it to Zalika and be like, does this seem like anything to you?
Priestess makes strange sounds and has a look at the object.
There's a loading symbol on your head right now.
They'd not ever seen it before.
Interesting. I always get a sense of balance when I'm holding on to it. I thought maybe something to do with the wolves having to choose between a balance between the human and wolf side might have some connection to it, but
Hmm.
Oh well.
Might be something different, though. In either case, that is what you feel from it. I recommend keeping it close. Just at least.
Oh,
You guys are journeying back to Kresk. Willow, did you want to attune to the
Yes.
amulet?
I will. Wait, let me make sure if I can.
Are you good? Are you a good person?
I would like to
Questionable.
think so.
Then you can attune to it. That is the only prerequisite.
I'm more met in the way of like if I have an attunement slot open.
I don't think you have any if you're using any at the moment.
The only thing I have looks like is the ring of rodent.
Yeah.
Of the rodent. So yeah,
rat
I
ring.
attune. The rat ring.
Oh, the rat
Ring of the rat.
Well, I mean, if you have no use for it.
I use it for the stealth.
I see.
But Willow is neutral good, so yes, she is a good.
There you go. And she can attune to it. The time as you guys travel back.
Yeah. She attunes to it and like inspects her arms now that she has like 2 tattoos on them.
And as you guys approach the wall to Kresk, the guards stop you as per usual because of their warning against intruders and werewolves alike. They stop you.
Point to the sun.
Werewolves. Sun has nothing to do with that.
No, I think it's more Cere showing that, hey, this is who we're bringing
we got
back
the
with
sun.
us.
So we,
Yeah.
we go to the guards.
I
and it's like,
heard
hey, yeah, I have
S
them.
Oh, the
UN,
sun.
not SON.
Oh no, S-O-N.
No. S-O.
Yeah,
Um,
Ilya, whoever his name was.
I harness the power of the S-U-N.
A few moments would pass as you'd see the gate open and you'd see the husband and wife of the Kreskovs frozen in joy and just tear in their eyes as you'd see their son rush towards them in an embrace. And it is there we will end the session.
Hey.
A heartfelt
we
hug.
reunited a family.
You'd see
Again, by the way.
the aunt and sister standing beside you, giving a not a giant smile, but still a happy smile.
This one was way easier than the other one.
If I had a nickel for every child we saved this campaign, I have
I was gonna say,
2.
we've been
We'd have
quite
2
the
nickels.
heroes so far.
I only have 2, but I mean, it is funny that it's happened twice.
The children in the beginning, the Vistani child, the daughter of the Watcher family,
Yeah.
the
Stella,
4 times. 5 times.
and now Kresk.
That is a lot of nickels. Never mind.
You have a whole
Can we-
dollar and some change.
Can we change those to Electro?
And
If we had some Electrum for every time we saved.
because you guys have finished this small little arc, though it is not in the correct order as things are supposed to go, which is fine.
It's not in the... Damn, we fucked up.
You guys said fuck the wizard and wine, but let's do this shit instead. I was like, okay, fuck.
We had our priorities.
You guys are able to achieve level 6.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I don't
with
get
that-
anything cool.
And with that, of course, chat, I bid you adieu. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for coming by and hanging out with us on episode 28 of CurseofStrahd Deathmarch.
Goodbye, chat.
And I
chat.
suppose a question to my players before we leave.
Mhm.
Next session, what should we call it? Are you guys going to the Wizarded Wine or are you going to Argynvoss
Yes.
Holt?
Yeah,
I
we should
think
probably do the
Wizard
wizard
Wines.
wine thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been
We had-
holding off on that for too long.
We
Yeah,
had
we
to
gotta
let
get
it
that done.
ferment. It had to ferment. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
A good wine, it ages. Right?
I
All in
see.
good time.
I see. Well, in that case, chat, I bid you adieu. As next episode, we will be approaching that of the Wizard and Wine. I am your host, your DM, Sanguine Stories, Orlin. These are my players. Say hi, players.
Hi.
Players.
Goodbye.
Oh, and bye.
And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!
Bye-bye.
Bye.